that is being nosy. What kind of things, obviously, you've listed some of them, sage on the wrist, ANS internally. What kind of things do you and Sam think are a good thing to have for our morning routine or daily routine that is just kind of universal?
Yeah,
And also say like how much you think and where you would put it internally or externally.
Right. Okay. So, I mean, I think that's a good question. It's something that we've been bouncing around here, like just having like a little kit that's like your daily dose kit or something. And I think the thing is it depends a little bit on the particular health issue that you have.
Sure.
Like if you have like a pain syndrome, if you have like a digestive issue, if you have whatever. But let's just talk like some generals, like just
Good.
generalities. Yeah. So like I would put this under things that are like considered also like things that are also very toning. You're wanting to tone the body, to fortify the body so that you always have like good function and things like that. And so one would be the ANS support would be great for just general tonic effects on the digestive tract. And I think we've talked about all the different things that you could do there. Another one is lemon. Lemon taking pretty regular, it's very good for the liver, it's very good for the blood, it's very good for thinning the blood, it has an impact on the immune system, it helps to regulate mineral deficiencies, it improves the quality of the blood, so it's a treatment for like anemia, things like that. So many things that lemon does. Lemon could just be something that's part of your daily routine. A lot of times what we would do around here is just put lemon in the water or in your tea or something. You just put several drops in and you just drink it like everything else. It doesn't have to be in one sitting where you shoot it. You can put, several drops in a water bottle and then just be drinking it all day. As we get older, I like the idea of something for inflammation. So black cumin could be a good tonic oil for the reduction of inflammation and stimulating the repair mode in the body. But another one for inflammation could also be ginger, or ginger and turmeric. Those very good for reducing inflammation, keeping the inflammation from hitting the brain, keeping the inflammatory material from settling in the brain. And what's the name of the tonic that you have where we did the turmeric and ginger?
That one is the tonic, but what is it called? Yeah, it's Vitality.
So we did like a version of that or I should say Samantha did a version of that in her AG tonics, the vinegar tonics, where there's one called Vitality, and it's meant to be like a daily thing where it's got turmeric and ginger and I think black pepper in it.
Exactly.
The black pepper makes the turmeric work better. So that would be good. I like to put mugwort on the arms and legs, like the joints, just to keep everything fluid and moving. Energy-wise, it keeps the reactive states from the emotional body down to a minimum, and it just keeps things flowing so that essence keeps integrating into form to a certain extent. I personally use basil daily just as a mental stimulant and for stress reduction. And basil is also a very good antiseptic to the digestive tract. Like if you were to get food poisoning, for example, the treatment would just be basil. And so it's just a way to boost immunity, keep the digestive system clean, cleans up the energy body, stimulates the mind. I use basil pretty daily. And then,
Is that just in water,
yeah,
3 drops?
well, you should do it in water. I don't even do it in water. I just go, and then wash it down with something. Yeah. Because I love the taste of basil. It's like it's concentrated pesto.
Okay.
And so I also do sage pretty often during the day. And just
Internally or on wrists?
just on the wrist. Like I just do like, 6-8 drops on the wrist, or I think yesterday I made a body tonic with one of the sages and was slathering it all on, and I was like, this feels so amazing. And then just because of the pandemic, I would do some form of immunity boost, like Monarda solid, Monarda complex. The thing that's nice about the Monarda complex is it also is a lymphatic circulation stimulant. Like it helps lymph move. It doesn't make your lymphatic system detoxify so much, but it makes it move. And so it's got a bit of Melissa in it. It's very strengthening and fortifying. The other one that you could use that way would be immune support, very antiviral, has some Monarda in it as well. And so I like the idea of.
But those are all internal or
No,
just in the
like
legs?
you could get away with Monarda or Monarda complex. Definitely could be taken internal, but I would say just on a daily basis, you could just sit and inhale them 15-20 times and call it good. Immune support, inhale, or even like with a roller ball, like roll it on the chest, because you'll continue to inhale it and you'll get it in the skin. I think originally when I first started using immune support many years ago, I was doing it in a spray where I would just spray down my front side and call it good. So it doesn't have to be internal with all of that. If there's a pain syndrome, I usually will either do galbanum or myrrh. The other one that you could throw in that mix would be a blend called Monk's Anointing Oil, just because it has both of those in it and is made a little bit more for pain syndromes.
You just place that on the joint or whatever, or?
No, you don't even have to do that. You can just put several drops on the wrist, or you could take it internal if you wanted to, but it basically, as long as you get it on the skin, it doesn't matter where the pain is at, it will offset the body's hypersensitivity to those painful spots. And then the mugwort on the arms and legs should help that as well. The other thing, let's see, what else do I do? I mean, I take Melissa every day. That's more for just keeping the heart like regulated and everything. And again, like I don't, whenever I go to the doctor, I don't really have a heart issue, but in the family there is potential, so I just take it as prevention, just in case something like that shows up. Like if there's a potential for tachycardia or something like that, it just calms everything down. We're more predisposed to tachycardia, which is just a elevated heart rate, as you get older. Like it will be sporadic, like it'll be fine, and then it bumps up for a little bit, and then it's fine, and it bumps up. And the neroli will regulate it, but Melissa is much stronger for that, and so I just do Melissa. Plus, it's very good for fortifying the nerves and is relaxing. So if I do it at the end of the day, I just find that I sleep better. And then see, what else do I do? Like I have my little kit. Let me see what's in my kit.
This is very helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, like we were kicking around the idea of like having like a set of here we go. a set of things that are just like a normal everyday thing. You know, you can use something like cinnamon or peppermint in the morning as like a general body stimulant, but one that that I forget about sometimes is also like a circulatory tonic or a circulatory stimulant is camphor. Camphor works really good for that. It's very good for the immune system, and camphor is good for a lot of different things, including like clearing space and things like that. But that I'll put like I don't do it every day, but I'll put like a few drops of camphor on my wrist from time to time, just like usually in the morning to have like the cardiovascular stimulant just to get the day rolling. Cinnamon could work that way. Peppermint could work that way. You know, inhaling hyssop on a regular basis, you know, it stimulates the medulla, which has to do with respiratory function and cardiovascular functions, and then deepens the breath and things like that. It's also very clearing to the mind and into the body. And so inhaling hyssop can be good. Oh, the one that I do all like, I take 3 Wiseman daily as well. And the issue being that it stimulates lymphatic movement and it jumpstarts the entire endocrine system. But one of the things that the 3 Wiseman does is it balances out the autonomic nervous system. Like it's if there is you know, a disturbance like where it's caused like shock or the digestive tract is really off and wonky, marjoram and tarragon are much better treatments. But like when everything is relatively regulated and you're trying to maintain it and maintain that balance, the 3 Wiseman actually works quite well for that. So it maintains the balance between the fight, flight, and rest and repair modes in the body. And it's jump starting your glands all the time. And as we get older, like the glands not working quite like they should actually is part of what accelerates the aging process. You know, if like you're trying to slow down the aging process, keep the glands healthy and reduce inflammation, and just that slows down the aging process. The aging process is the breaking down of the body, breaking down of the tissues, breaking down of the internal organs, because the number one thing that gets hit the hardest in the aging process is the health of the internal organs. And so by going through and doing this, you know, the frankincense and myrrh are also anti-inflammatory. They have an effect on pain. You know, it does so many things that it is like a bread and butter oil for me. Like I do like a 15 ml bottle at a time, because I mean I take like 6-8 drops a couple of times a day. And man, I can tell the days that I've taken it and the days that I haven't. I'll go, God, why am I not feeling that great today? Oh yeah, I didn't do the 3 Wiseman. And so if I do that, I don't feel the need to take the cumin or the ginger. Like I just, you know, it has an anti-inflammatory effect as well. You know, to the point where we've even used it to treat things like fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome. And, you know, again, for the anti-inflammatory effect, but also the effect that it has on the nervous system and inflammation. And so those are pretty solid. I mean, marjoram I use a lot, but I used to use it every day, and now I find that I use it 2 or 3 times a week. Like, you know, like if things are good and if you're starting to get like cramps in the feet or legs or something, I'll increase it. Or if I feel like my body's tightening up, I'll increase it. But Helichrysum I keep pretty handy. There was a while where I was using it every day. Now I use it probably 2 or 3 times a week. And I like to do both,
How
like an
much
inhalation.
heliochrysum do you use?
Like a lot of times I'll just do an inhalation or a couple of drops on the wrist, but every once in a while, like I'll do a week of taking it internally just to clean up the mucus in the digestive tract and the urinary tract. And I don't have an issue there, but I also don't want to have an issue there. And so like I go through and just, 2 or 3 drops internally every day for about a week or so. I do that. If I'm under a lot of stress, I'll use Splendor for a bit, just because it offsets the stress so well. It's very calming and soothing to the limbic functions, the vital centers. And then this is one that like I just do. Like I don't know that I've talked about it very much with the general students, but I put on spike lavender, not every day, but like probably 4 or 5 times a week. And the reason being that it has a normalizing effect on the cerebral spinal fluid circulation. So when you're in things with like pain syndromes, or when you're doing like a lot of meditation or something, part of it is your nervous system is upgrading, or with pain syndromes, you're trying not to let it like downgrade or get in a place where it's always like in an agitated state. And part of how you're able to keep the body out of that is through the regulation of cerebral spinal fluid circulation. And so, there's that blend healing elixir that was made for that. But this is like a less non-fancy way of doing it, and it works really super well, and it's just a single oil and it's inexpensive. But I just put like 4 or 5 drops of spike lavender on the wrist. It doesn't matter day or night or whatever. Most times I find that I'm doing it more towards the nighttime, and it just helps the nervous system to upgrade and to adjust and adapt. And if the nervous system is starting to go down a place that's a little wonky, because of pain or because of stress or whatever, it just helps to unwind that in the nervous system. And so anytime you target the cerebral spinal fluid, you're helping the body repair itself, you're helping the body adjust and adapt, you're helping the body stay more flexible and not get locked into like a weird set of neurological responses. And so spike lavender works pretty good for that. Like if it was something that I need to be more aggressive about, I would do the healing elixir. But for just maintenance and things like that, even more than maintenance, spike lavender is really solid for that. That's one you do not want to take internally, but topically it works really super well. I mean, I have a bunch of other things that are like more kind of my own little thing, but like I like to use birch complex a little bit topically, and I like to use that blend nerve help, just because it re-educates the nerves. It's pretty heavy in the sage and helichrysum, and so it just keeps my body from hurting too bad. Because I have areas that are bone on bone and a bunch of torn muscles in a couple parts of my body. And so if I just stay on top of it, I'm fine. If I let it go, it gets pretty painful. And so the nerve help is how I manage the torn muscles. Yeah. I go through phases where I use lovage a lot. I go through phases where I use what was the other one I was using? But I'm not seeing it here.
What was the birch complex for?
Pain. Yeah, like pain. Birch complex like is good for like a general treatment, but any sort of acute pain, chronic pain, like injury, but it's like sometimes what happens, like if I'm doing meditation with like a lot of deep purification, like when it's coming out, it's a little uncomfortable. And if like, I wouldn't say painful, but it's like there's like a weird tension in the body. If I put the birch complex on, everything just passes and I'm super comfortable. And so I use it even for stuff like that. You know, it could be used to augment like pain protocols that you already have in place. And the thing that's nice about the birch complex, you don't even have to put it on the spot. A lot of times I keep it in a roller ball and I just roll it on my wrist, rub my wrist together and call it good. And wherever the pain's at, then it diminishes it quite substantially. You know, like birch and wintergreen are all lymphatic stimulants as well. So you could say birch complex also is stimulating proper lymphatic movement as well as managing the pain. You know, as you get older, almost everybody has some ache or pain or something. And so, you know, sometimes you treat it topically, but, you know, between putting in galbanum or myrrh or the birch complex, or maybe even both, a lot of times that pain is managed without even putting things on something topically.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Another one, like I keep going, and another one, just as like a good like body balancer and like kind of tonic for like the brain and things like that, is rosemary verbena. It's a good digestive tonic. It's good for the liver. It's balancing to the body. Like if you're not sure what's going on with the body and the body seems like really out of balance, rosemary verbena is the thing that helps kind of bring everything back into balance. And it's also cephalic, which means it moves blood to the brain.
We still have questions in the chat. Somebody did say maybe we should take a bathroom break. I just want to let you know.
Oh yeah,
where
it's
we're
been
at.
what? It's been 3 hours. Yeah. Yeah, we should probably take a bathroom break.
Yeah, let's take a bathroom break. Let's
Yeah.